Hello, everybody. Jay Hunter Lee here. This is our Monday Motivational Power Talk. Let's get it. Well, if it's going to be, it's up to me to fulfill my dreams and possibilities with dedication and motivation to inspire thousands from all nations. When times are tough and breaks you down, just smile with toughness and rebuild from the ground. During tough times, adversity is a lot. Just remember, time flies, but you are the pilot. Good evening, folks. It's been 2 weeks. This is our Monday Motivational Power Talk. I'm Jay Hunter Lee here. Very, very busy 2 weeks, man. I swear. Very busy 2 weeks. Just didn't get a chance to come around to talking to you guys on our Monday Motivational Power Talk. But normally I try to catch it up during the week. But the weeks has been busy as well. But now here I am this week doing it tonight as we are back on schedule with our Monday Motivational Power Talk because we do this normally on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I might even have time later this week, probably like Wednesday or Thursday, to come back to you guys during the daytime and talk to you guys some more about some things that I want to talk about. So tonight, we got a big conversation we need to have, right? I want to say hello to Andre West. Thank you for stopping through. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Uh, we want to talk about a topic that Andre had already alluded to. We're talking about the minimum wage increase. Will it help or will it hurt? Before I get to that, I'm gonna do a little bit of a prerequisite. I want to talk about some research I've done, some books that I've read, including a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, which written by a gentleman by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote several books, but the two that I really like that he have written was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and there's another one called Conspiracy of the Rich. In one of his books, I think it's Rich Dad Poor Dad, he had mentioned, like back in the early 70s, back probably 1971, 1972, somewhere up in that area, that President Nixon had, without the consent of Congress, had took the American dollar off the gold standard. When that happened, people who worked did not have any pensions for retirement. After retirement, they couldn't be taken care of for the rest of their life after retirement. So there was an act called the ERISA Act. You can look that up. It's called the ERISA Act, IRISSA, the ERISA Act, which brought along the 401k, the birth of the 401k. 401k meaning that now you're not guaranteed money. Your money have to be given after retirement, but it's based off of the market on the stock market. Whatever goes on with the stock market or the economy, whatever goes on with the economy affects the stock market, pretty much. And if you, prime example, you guys remember the 2008 recession that hit hard. How I don't know if some of you who experienced this that's watching right now, but a lot of people have lost like 40% of their 401k pension retirement, 40% because of the stock market. Now, your jobs will say they'll match what you contribute to your 401k if you're an employee, if you're working, if you have benefits. That's the thing. If you have benefits, there are a lot of jobs right now who don't want to pay benefits. So what they do, they typically like to outsource to other positions, to other companies or a contractor, and the contractor is hire you to work for them for the client or that company. So there's a middleman in between you and the actual company that needs the work done. So the middleman takes what is called a spread. A spread is, let's talk about currency exchange for a second. Okay. I'm giving an example of a spread. Let's say I'm going to say hello to Ragnarok, who's watching right now from Twitch. Thank you for stopping through. Give you a quick example, folks. You have, let's say you got a foreign currency. Let's say you have the Vietnam dong. That's the currency in Vietnam. It's called a Vietnam dong. It is very, very low in value, but they, predicting that it's going to increase in value someday. But let's just say you want to take your Vietnam dong, it increase in value. Your Vietnam dong has, let's say, compared to the dollar, let's say the Vietnam dong is worth $1.50 to the American $1. And you take the dong to a bank or to any foreign exchange, and they're going to charge you a spread. So if the currency is $1.50, whoever you exchange with, they're going to take their cut out of that spread. That's what it's called, a spread. So if currency exchange at $1.50 to the American dollar, $1, they may take 50 cents. Okay, that's the spread. So when you're working for a company, a lot of big companies, they don't want to pay the benefits, so they outsource to cut costs. And they outsource, they hire, they contract out to a company, they outsource to a company who has the contract to work for them. So that company, instead of you working for the main company, the company that's being contracted to do the work will hire you, and they will pay you the benefits. But see, as they pay you the benefits, your salary gets cut even more. So where the main company will charge you, let's just say you go to a staffing company, prime example, you making, let's say you get a job for like $60 per hour. The $60 per hour is being given to the company, the contracting company that's hiring you. That company that's hiring you may pay you $20 an hour. This is hypothetical. They make $60 an hour. They say, okay, they get $60 an hour to do a job for a position, and they tell you the job pays $20 an hour. So they keep $40 an hour worth of salary off of your work. All they did was just got you employed. So that's the spread. $60 an hour position, but they paying you $40 an hour. Why? Because they're the middleman. They getting paid. It's like an upsell to spend out less. You got to understand, folks, in business, the purpose of business is to spend less and earn more. So that's what they do. They earn $60 an hour, but they give you your cut and say you get $20 an hour. You guys see what I'm saying? Now let's take $20 an hour. Okay, take $20 an hour, and then they say we pay benefits. So you got your dental. Thank you very much, Ragnarok. You take your dental out of that. You take your health care, your health insurance, and your life insurance, right? Your retirement, your 401k comes out of that $20 an hour. So at the end of the day, you probably making roughly around, after all of that, you might be making roughly around $13, $14 an hour after you take out all the benefit. Then you got your taxes. And if you live in a state where you have to pay state tax, that's double tax. You got federal and your state. Unlike Florida, Delaware, and I don't know what, I think there's some other states that don't do state tax. Texas might be one of them, where you only just being charged federal taxes, right? So you guys see where I'm going, right? Now, imagine you got all of this, you're making $20 an hour, and the company you work for is making the other $40 an hour off the main company that hired them to do the work for them. They outsource them. You see where your money is being cut down at, folks? You see how your money is dropping? Now, That's just corporate. That's companies that's in corporate or some other company, maybe Amazon. Amazon is probably the best company that's paying real money out there. We're in a pandemic, so guess what's going to happen after the pandemic? Companies going to now find ways to do more with less. They don't want to get caught with their pants down again. They don't want to get hit with a recession because of a pandemic or for any other reason. So they're taking the experience of being hit from a pandemic and they prepare themselves for if this ever to happen again. I hope you're getting what I'm saying here. So when you take this step, folks, when companies are doing, I'm a business person, this is exactly what I would be doing myself. It only makes sense. You have to think like a business owner. Even if you're an employee, you have to think like a business owner so that you can be able to predict what you feel that company might be doing. You might have to start getting ready to make some moves, get out of there. But you got to predict it. You can't think like an employee, folks. You got to start learning how to think like a business owner. Think like an employer. That is the key to survival. Once you have that down, your survival will turn into being to thrive. Because it was Tony Robbins who said we were made to thrive, not survive. So I'm giving you something that's going to be very beneficial, folks. So just stick with me. I'm sharing this information with you. Okay, now just and with the hindsight of all of that, you ain't making no money. $13, maybe $14 an hour off of a $20 an hour position. Once you take away your benefits, 401k, dental, all that kind of stuff, right? And God forbid if you have to pay child support. A car note. And that's off $20 an hour. That's above the future $15 an hour pay rate that they're going to increase to. That's $20 an hour. Now, let's fast forward to another 3 to 5 years where they're going to make it mandatory. They're going to say the minimum wage have to go up to $15 an hour. The average, on average, folks, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm telling you this now, it's 2021. You got 4 to 5 years to get your ass prepared. This is 2021. Listen to me. Because some people get mad when I say things like this, when I gotta say it. They say the truth will set you free, but it will piss you off first. So I'm going to share something with you, folks. Please pay attention to this. 5 years, 3 to 5 years from now, we'll probably be at a $15 an hour minimum wage. On average, the average employer will not want to pay $15 an hour to somebody to come and do basic work. Why is that a problem? First, you have to understand this. When Nixon took the American dollar off the gold standard back in the early 70s, that caused a huge problem. A huge problem. Why does these things cause a problem? Because government does not set pay rates. Government does not set what the economy should be or what the economy should be in terms of money and all that. The government doesn't do that. The market does that. Your worth does that. The government does not control what is supposed to be in the market in terms of the stock market. The government does not determine what Amazon stock prices should be. The government does not determine what Microsoft stock market should be, what Netflix stock market should be. You know who decides that? The market. How does the market does that? The market does that by people gravitating towards a particular item or a particular company in a stock in that company, and it drives that market, it drives that stock up. The same way with currency. Foreign currency. Anytime there's foreign currency out there, the market drives it. It's called, that's what the term float means. It means it floats. Whichever comes to that item or to that company or to that currency or that commodity, it will determine whether it goes up or goes down. The less people gets involved, it goes down. The more people gets involved, it goes up. Same as Bitcoin. And you see a lot of people running around here talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin showed somebody like $60,000 per coin the other day, who on average have $60,000 for one coin. Right? Why did a coin go up? It went up because somebody been branding it, and a lot of people getting involved. So because they don't have $60,000, so they try to get involved with a network marketing or a multi-level marketing approach. And then when the coin values, the network marketing company earns way more money than you, and you want to put in the money. You got to understand, folks, this is business. So when you're talking about these things, folks, the market is what drives salaries. Look at what you are doing. I want you, this is your homework, folks. Whatever it is that you're doing, the type of work that you do, get online, try to find out the wage determination of what you do and see what it pays. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When the government increase what you do, if you're making minimum wage, I'm gonna tell you right now, when the government, Sherman River says businesses don't pay taxes, they collect them. Bingo. So, but getting to that. So what I'm saying with you guys is, when you have if you're working a job, find out what your worth is. Find out what a position you pays and what you do. Find out what it pays, right? Like, I know people who are studying for the Amazon Cloud Practitioner exam. Okay, go online and see what that position, a certification for that position pays. That's a six-figure position. You see what I'm saying, folks? You got to make yourself valuable. You got to have some certifications. Make yourself valuable. Nobody's going to pay you $30,000 a year. That's $15 an hour, about $32,000 a year, fluctuating. Nobody's going to pay you that for basic work, and that is still below the poverty line. Look it up. So remember, I gave you the scenario of how you making $20 an hour because you're working for a company that's willing to pay you the benefits that's contracted to the main company. Now you at $15 an hour, you got a little benefits now. And guess what? If you add a little benefits to a minimum wage position, you're going to be right back to that $7 and some an hour that you're getting. Only difference is you got benefits now. That's basically all it is, folks. It's nothing more than the fact that they're just adding the opportunity for you to have health care. They're making you so that the Obamacare or the Biden care, whatever that is, they get more money. They get more money. All they're doing is making the companies give you a little bit more money so that you can afford some benefits. And the big pharma, the health insurance, the life insurance company, they can save money. Only difference. Somebody might be like, damn, man, we can't seem to be winning for losing. But you got to understand how business operates. You got to understand, folks, that they're not just giving you more of something for your benefit. You best to believe those folks in that White House, those folks in that Congress, they're doing stuff to benefit themselves. So I tell you to kill the politics, because it's killing your inspiration. That's all they're doing. From $7-something an hour to $15 an hour. I want you to calculate that. I want you to look at your average check right now and deduct what you're making on a monthly basis in terms of how much benefits is coming out of your check. I want you to look it up. It's going to average out between $5 to $7 difference in your hourly rate. You'll see. So, folks, is the increase in minimum wage helping you? or is it hurting you? Unless you fall under 30 hours. Bam. Unless you fall under 30 hours. You fall under 30 hours, I don't think they're gonna pay you benefits for that. I haven't researched that. I know in the past they didn't. I don't know now and going forward. I haven't done a deep dive there yet. So folks, when I've been telling you guys all these years, when I be doing these lives, before I was doing them live, I was doing what is called Monday Motivation Power Talk on conference calls before the video stuff came out, right? And I've been telling you guys a lot of this stuff for years, over a decade. I've been telling you guys this stuff, preparing you for what's to come. And what I prepared you for that's happening today, people aren't prepared. And they've been hearing me say these things. Some people try to argue with me. They try to go back and forth. They wanted to debate. They try to make me look like I didn't know what I was talking about. Now we're here and a lot of this shit is going on and they're hurting. And they won't even come back and say, Jay, let's sit back to the table and let's go through what you spoke of. Because you was right. I'm not looking for any reward. I don't need no cookies or no hot dogs or shit like that. I just want you to do well. I want you to help others do well. This is how this works, folks. Each one teach one. All I'm doing is doing my part. This is a calling for me. I'm not being paid to come here and talk to you guys on Monday Motivational Power Talk. I'm just sharing this information. And I found that people get mad. It's not because I'm saying something wrong. You see, folks, they get mad because it's the truth. See, I found that it's not that people don't like to hear the truth. They just don't like hearing it from you. McDonald's, Wendy's, they have already started installing kiosk machines as cash registers. You put in your thing in the kiosk machine, and then the ticket printout, you go and pick it up. If you go to a Wawa gas station, you don't go and ask for food. You go right in there. They have a little small kiosk all around inside the Wawa gas station. Punch in what you want. Ticket prints out. It also prints up on their screen where they making the food at. They look up at the screen and they start fixing it. Ain't nobody saying how can they help you. Only time you're paying for it is when you walk to the cash register from that kiosk. You just taking your ticket and they ring the ticket up. Eventually they're gonna be gone. Walmart is already replacing cash registers. Do I like it? No. What do I do? When I go to Walmart, I walk to a live cash registers because I want to support them for making, earning a living for their family. Unless their line is real long and I'm trying to get out of there, I'll go to the kiosk to check out. But I try to go to where a human being is registering, at the register. That's what I like to do. But I know their time is short. But until that time comes, I try to support that individual at the cash register. That's just where my heart is. But I know what's coming. I know what they need to be prepared for. Nobody's going to pay you $15 an hour to flip hamburgers or to get on the register and say, welcome to McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever. May I take your order? They're not going to pay you $15 for that. They're going to get artificial intelligence to do that. A young lady got upset with me a couple of weeks ago when all I did was told the God honest truth. I've been studying this shit for way too long. I got books on this shit. I'm not a Google scholar. I take my ass to the library. I get online and find what I need to read to learn this shit. Not just find a little article on Google. See them little Google scholars that try to come at me. No. Spend some money, Jack, in your research. You're going to have to get your ass up. Get out the house. Get a book. Go to the library, read it. Find out what books you need to read. Go to Amazon and order it, let it ship to you, do whatever. Go to Barnes and Noble. You can sit in Barnes and Noble and look through books at Barnes and Noble. You can sit down in the aisle in the Indian style and open up a few books and just look through them. Get you any way you can go get you some knowledge, folks. Sometimes I go to Barnes and Noble, get a book that if I want to buy it yet, I'll look through that book first. And they got one here where we're close to where I live. They have a little coffee shop inside the Barnes and Noble. I go to the coffee shop, get me a little bagel or something and some orange juice, and I look through that book. They're saying something interesting here. I'm gonna take this to the register and pay for it. And I got a new book. Sometimes you just can't always just look through Amazon. Sometimes you got to put your hands on the material before you pay your money. Now, if I can get it cheaper on Amazon, I'll look through the book and then look it up on Amazon, and then I'll order it that way. But most of the time, I buy it right out of Barnes and Noble, folks. So you got to spend your money. You got to spend time. You got to invest in yourself. When I say invest in yourself, I'm talking about investing in your knowledge. Understand where you're going. You got to be able to look down the street and be able to see around the corner, because most people don't do that. That's why you have the 1090 rule, where 10% of the population earns 90% of all the money, while 90% of the population is earning 10% of all the money. And guess what the 90% does? They bitch and moan and say that the 10% is wealthy because they shitted on the 90%. That is a whole lot of crock of shit right there. Yeah, I ain't talking about people in politics who's getting rich with tricks. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about people who just started, who are self-made. People, people came at me about Jeff Bezos. He did this to little people. How he do this to little people? First of all, he started in his garage. He started in his own home. What little people did he step on when he was broke his damn self? Well, I'm in a group where his employees are complaining. Well, why would you be in a complaining group? Why don't you go into a group where he have employees who are not complaining, who have employees who are doing great, who are doing well, who are being paid well? Why aren't you joining that group? Why would you join a group full of people who are losing? See, there's everybody that works for Amazon ain't losing. You focusing on the people who's losing, and you want to accept their pity party invitations instead of going to the other group and seeing why those people are being successful. See, there's a choice, folks. How come some people are failing while others are not? Are you going to go and study the ones who are failing, or are you going to go study the ones who are not failing and learn from them people? Because those people ain't sitting around bitching and moaning about what's going on. I do know that Amazon pays pretty good. I know a couple of people who work for Amazon. The average company does not pay as well as Amazon. So so within hindsight of this, folks, as a matter of fact, I saw a robot in Walmart right here in Southside St. Petersburg, Florida. I saw a robot cleaning the aisles around the cash register. A robot. It was like a little cart cleaning the aisles. Nobody was driving it. Nobody. And I did a video with this maybe a couple of years ago. I did a video on it. It's somewhere on my page somewhere. The robot. It was a cart moving like this, and they would turn around and come up the next aisle, turn and go down the next aisle like that. Nobody was operating it. I'm looking around to see if somebody had a remote control or something. No, operating on its own. It was already programmed to do it. So it wasn't even nobody driving the thing or pushing something or pushing a bush, what'd you call them? A buffer. Wasn't even that. It was doing it on its own. That's a fact. I'm not telling you no, I'm not making this shit up. This is facts, folks. If you think you're gonna just sit on your ass for the next 5 years and wait, here's the thing. If you want to sit on your ass for the next 5 years and wait for the government to give you to make it mandatory that you earn $15 an hour, you should have your ass kicked. I'm telling you like it is, folks. Telling you like it is. Already like it is. Let's take a look at what Andre West just said. See, a young friend of mine started with Rich Dad Poor Dad, and 6 years later already has net worth $1 million, solving problems for people. See, my man Sherman. Sherman's a great speaker. I had a speaking engagement a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, and Sherman was one of the speakers there. He done a great job there. Good, thank you, Sherman. Sherman said, they need to understand that government fires nothing as well as business. They just add costs. Yeah, bigger government, more costs, higher taxes. Income taxes are based on wages which the middle class earns. Right. Folks, I'm telling you, I don't make this up. I'm telling y'all the bone hard truth, man. People are not going to want to pay you. And let me tell you what's going to happen. To summarize it all up, unemployment rate, when that $15 an hour thing hit, unemployment rate is going to shoot to the roof. Let me tell you why. Because company let's say you got a company that's earning 100, it has 100 employees. That $15 an hour is going to cause a company to have from 100 employees down to 50 employees. They're going to cut their costs in half to maintain their revenue, their profits. Let me tell you why that's going to happen, folks. Not because they want to, of course, it's for the profit, but let's just say that company is on Wall Street. Let's say that company is publicly traded. Investors don't want to know nothing about anything but the bottom line. What the bottom line is, the bottom line meaning what's your profit at the end of the day. That's all the investors only care about. Why is that? They don't care that you had to lay people off in order for you to meet that bottom line to get higher. They don't care about that. So when Wall Street Wall Street got green arrow going up, red arrow going down. So take a look at this, folks. When they got these numbers in here, all that you see on Wall Street, all of that's bottom line. That's bottom line stuff. You don't see nobody in Wall Street talking about, oh, this company laid off such and such people. This is how they got this kind of money. This is how their revenues went up because they laid off these many people. You don't hear them talk about that. They don't care about that. That's why they don't talk about it, because they don't care. Only thing they care about is the bottom line. And here's what you got to understand also. Matter of fact, this was also in Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki even mentioned this. He said, every time a company lays people off, their stock on Wall Street goes up. And I just told you why their stock on Wall Street goes up, because when you lay people off, you increase your bottom line. And now we're in a pandemic. After this pandemic is over nationwide, you're still going to be in a recession for at least another 18 months. So what does that mean? Companies are thinking on figuring out ways to do more with less, which means most of y'all ain't going to get your jobs back. And then another four years later, they talking about an increase in minimum wage. You really ain't going to get your jobs back. You're going to have to educate yourself. You're going to have to see what the market have out there. What does the market need? You're going to have to be the problem solver of the market. That is how it works, folks. That is exactly how it works. Not sitting on your ass thinking the government is going to do something for you. Because they increase, and here's what you got to understand. When they know, these people writing these bills, all these liberals doing all this stuff, like they trying to care for you and they giving you all of this stuff. Here's what you got to understand. You think they're giving you this. You think, oh yeah, minimum wage increase. Yay. Hooray for Kamala Harris and all them people. This is what you're thinking. Here's what they're thinking. We increase the minimum wage on them. It's going to force companies to lay them off, which means when they lay them off, their stock on Wall Street goes up. Kamala Harris, all these people, they already got stock in Wall Street. They already got stock in these companies. So when their stock goes up because they laid you off, guess who else get more money? Kamala and them. Biden. All these people you voted for, they increase their pockets They know exactly, because why? They can predict your behavior. The reason why they can predict your behavior is because they have been controlling your behavior for over 50 years. I ain't trying to go there. I ain't trying to go there. Because people won't get mad for me talking about their Democrats and liberals. I ain't gonna even go there. But I'm just gonna let you know something. If you don't get off your ass right now, you're gonna be hurt. Because it's gonna take you at least a good 3 to 5 years to get that horse up, to get up on that horse, to really be making some serious money, because you're gonna have to make serious money. In DC, you live comfortable in Washington, DC, you at least have to be making 119,000. Go to the Amazon, look up Amazon certifications, folks. Just say Amazon certifications, get it on Google. Amazon certifications, look at some stuff that you can get certified in. Those jobs paying 6 figures, $132,000 for stuff. Prepare yourself, make yourself valuable. Don't just sit around and think the government. I keep telling, boy, I can't say this enough to y'all black folks. Stop waiting on the government to liberate you. They ain't gonna do shit. Never have, never will. So with that being said, folks, I'm getting ready to chime out of here. We're about 5-6 minutes over time. There's more I wanted to share with you guys. I just didn't have the time tonight. I like to keep this at least about 30 minutes, but we went over 6 minutes. So with that being said, I want you guys to do me a big favor. Share the video, if you will. If the video was helpful to you, great. If it wasn't helpful, share it anyway. Share it anyway, because you know somebody that this video can help. Quite frankly. And also put in the comment if it was helpful. Say thank you, this video was helpful. And last but not least, I want you to sing like no one can hear you. Dance like no one can see you. Love like you've never been hurt. And live like it's heaven on earth. I'm Jay Hunter Lee. I love you, and the world needs you. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. Have a great day.